If I had a nickel for every time I started a game in one game engine just to restart in LOVE2D, I'd only have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice. My name is Tez Fraser. I'm a game dev and content creator. And on this channel, we talk about games, tech, and even art. If you didn't catch my announcement video, I just started working on my next Steam release and it's called ColorNova. It's an arcade-style color matching space shooter. And you can wishlist it on Steam right now. So pause the video, go to the description, click the Steam link, and wishlist it. Go on. What are you still doing here? I know you haven't wishlisted it yet. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'll give you one more chance before I move on, but just know I'll be judging. Speaking of wishlisting, there's something that I want to do. Every devlog up until the release of the game, I'm going to show you the current wishlist count. So, as of recording this video, the current count is 34. Which, you know, since you wishlisted when I told you to, should be up by 1. Right? Anyways, I originally started making ColorNova in Pygame, so let's check out what that was like. As you can see, we had a health bar on the planet, meteors hurling towards the planet, and a player that can shoot lasers and of course change colors. So recreating this in LOVE2D wasn't very difficult. There isn't a ton of functionality here. I've also already made an entire game in LOVE2D, so I was able to whip this up in about a day. This obviously isn't a 1-for-1 because I'm not using actual sprites here. It's much faster to prototype this way. Another key thing is that I'm not using actual physics right now, which if you're wondering why I'm not using physics yet, it's because physics, while it plays much better, is actually much harder to get right, and I'm looking for a quick prototype. So it's something I'll do eventually, but for the time being, for a fast prototype, I'd rather spend minutes than hours. Basically right now it's using some simple math to calculate overlaps, which is why you might see some wonky behavior like meteors overlapping, where seemingly the meteor is overlapping with the planet yet it's not taking any damage. I'm using very rudimentary algorithms right now. Despite how this looks, this actually has more functionality than the Pygame version. This version actually has a lose state. If the planet's health hits 0, the game stops and you have to press R to restart. There's also an actual scoring system, even though it's super rudimentary right now. Score is decided by destroying a meteor. Bigger the meteor, higher the score bonus. And as such, I had to add more things, like the meteor object has hit points and the player has an attack stat. But what you're looking at is basically the core game loop. And I know it doesn't look like much, but all games look really silly until they don't. This is also a great time to start playtesting. You should basically show people your game as early as possible so that you can work out the kinks. I've actually already found one. I originally had the game set up that you had to hold click to shoot. And between rotations and color swapping and general ship movement, it was too much. It didn't feel very good, at least not in the game's current iteration. So I set it to auto shoot and it relieved a lot of those issues. But I think it's the kind of thing that I'm going to keep toggleable. In a situation where friendly fire is enabled, automatic shooting might not be ideal and you might want to hold to shoot, but we're not there yet in the game, so it just makes sense now to set it to auto shoot. I also added a little debug feature so that I can see meteor's health. I also have the player set to deal 1 HP of damage. So a meteor with 3 HP would take 3 hits to destroy, and so on and so forth. Meteors right now take between 1 and 3 hits depending on the size. I also experimented with other variables for the player. What if the ship was super fast? Or maybe its fire rate was insane. Perhaps the bullets have way more damage. These are the kind of variables that allow me to create the 6 different ships that I want for the game. Visually, they'll hopefully look drastically different from one another, but kind of like a car game, I want there to be a level of choice that works for your playstyle. I think it'll add to the fun. So here's where we're at. This is a game. A great game? No, but a game. I think a few things need to happen now. 1, I need to switch to physics-based collisions. And if you're wondering why now, well, the game is just far enough along that it makes sense to do it now. I had to prove that this game has legs, and I think I did that. But now that I want to use additional functionality, I should use a real physics system. It's kind of weird that you can glide through the planet. It's strange that the meteors don't affect the ship. I'm not saying they should destroy the ship, but to not interact at all is really funky. It's also weird that bullets fly through the planet. I'm not even sure if I want bullets to just fly forever. Decisions have to be made. The next time you see me, here's what I hope to have accomplished. I want the game to play basically exactly as it is right now, but using actual physics. Maybe define what the different ships' stats will be. I want to do controller support very early just to start testing things out, see if there's any flaws like there were with keyboard and mouse, and maybe a rudimentary star system. I actually had some moving backgrounds in Trivia War with stars, so I could probably just drag and drop it right into this game. Add a little ambiance to make it feel more space-like. Little things like adding in this black background made it feel so much more like a space game. I actually want to create a very complex star system But for now, I'm pretty sure the one from Trivia War will do. You know, it's not the final thing, but I'm sure it'll help the vision. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of ColorNova so far? Do you see the vision? I have lots of big plans and ideas for the game. So if you're curious about it, I'm always happy to answer questions in the comments. Also, please wishlist ColorNova on Steam, even if you have absolutely no intention of buying it. Every wishlist helps increase its popularity and rankings in the Steam algorithm. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified on new videos. Stay tuned to see ColorNova become the next hit game. Once again, my name is Tez Fraser. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.